Nope, it's not a scene out of Lord of the Rings, and they're not from medieval times. It's called LARPing, and these adults are doing it for fun. But what is it exactly? Well, Kevin Chi has been doing it for 13 years.
LARPing stands for live action role playing, and it's quite vast as a topic. There's LARP where you can do in your pool in your own backyard. There's LARPing that has 3,000 people on a field doing mass melee combat, and it's pretty much just combat. And then there's the actual role playing sects of LARP that do a lot of role play, dramatization, improv, that sort of thing.
LARPing's not exactly new. It's been around since the 70s. But since then, dozens of different types of LARPs have popped up around the world. Chia runs a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group called Nero Toronto.
And pretty much what we do is a medieval reenactment with a fantasy element. So we have magic and spells and monsters. So you play the hero or the scoundrel versus a world around you of monsters and challenges and that sort of thing.
Some players start with a homemade sword, while others upgrade to realistic foam weapons. Props can get extensive. Nero even has their own currency. It may have been around for a while, but it's only hitting mainstream pop culture now, like in the movie Role Models.
No, this is part of my battle attire. Me and a bunch of friends battle for control of the realm.
And yes, there are female LARPers too. Wendy Matthews has a lot of love for the LARP.
It's camping, it's social interaction, it's the fighting. I love fighting. I like hitting my friends.
But not all gamers see the appeal.
Sounds kind of dumb to me, but I guess some people like that.
It sounds kind of weird. Yeah, it sounds really weird.
But don't try to tell a LARPer that. They don't care what you think of them.
It's about as strange as watching a bunch of guys in a football field tossing around a leather ball.
Most LARP events take place on the weekend. They usually rent out a large space like a campground or a field, and they take place every few months, depending on the group. Now, because we couldn't actually get to a LARP event ourselves, we decided to get a crash course from the experts in LARPing. Let's just say you've convinced me to come out to a LARP event this weekend. How do I get started? What do I do?
All right, let's pretend we're role playing already. So we're going to pretend that you came out to an event, and we've set you up with a suit of armor and a helmet, and I'm sure you already have a tremendous character concept in your head and you know just how you want to act. And we want you to be able to have as much fun as you want, as you're able to, get into as much trouble as you can on your first game and not have to worry about any long-term repercussions.
Time for combat.
But it's not just about the fighting. It's also about looking the part. One of the characters Kevin plays is a dark elf. Just like most LARPers, he takes the role-playing really seriously and makes sure he gets totally in character. Not just mentally, but physically too. So you might think it's nerdy, but to LARPers, it's way more than a hobby. From the Kingdom of Neridia, Yoshida, RTV News.